We're sorry for the delay.
Okay, so gay, naka-record, naka-gay.
Yes, Dai.
Okay. So, to continue, we have here the Republic Act number 7942, and this act is instituting a new system of mineral resources exploration, development, and development, utilization, and conservation. So, uh, this is the Philippine Mining Act of 1995. This Mining Act states that all the mineral resources in lands are publicly owned within the territory and exclusive economic zone of the Republic of the Philippines. So the first section that we have here is section 43 of chapter 8 under quarrying permit. To summarize this section lang, this section says that any qualified person may apply to the provincial or city mining regulatory board for a quarry permit on privately owned or public lands for buildings and materials for construction. And after you or the qualified person, after you or the qualified
I think this is just related kanina.
yes ma'am, relate lang ato.
Okay, so can we go to the next slide?
Okay ma'am.
So now let us have the Republic Act number 7942, section 64 under mine labor. So in this law, it is said that no person under 16 years of age shall be employed in any phase of mining operations, and no person under 18 years of age shall be employed underground in a mine. And then we also have the Republic Act number 7942, section
Okay,
65.
I think this does not relate to your quarrying solution because you cannot regulate those people who are quarrying there. You cannot tell them to stop. There are young individuals diha, di ba, nga nag-quarry, but you don't have the power to say like stop mo or else you will be bringing commodities onto their tables. So marag dili kayo siya mo relate. This is on mining jud siya nga pang open pit nga dili ni siya sa quarrying nag-relate ang 64 o 65. Katong ganina. Okay.
With Section 66 under mine inspection, I also think that this tackles on the mining katong going underground, not
Correct.
with.
I agree.
But the Section 69 in environmental protection, I think it is, since it says there that every contractor shall undertake an environmental protection and enhancement program. Whenever, and not only during the process, but also after or for the future terms.
Okay. Now this is already applicable for large scale mining companies.
Oh.
But Ocoy River, for sand and gravel excavation or extraction, these are just but small scale.
Okay, ma'am, but it could still damage the environment, ma'am.
Yes, I know, but what we want you to do here is from these different RAs, what can you do at your level? Because based on what I have noticed, you are just trying to present what these RAs are all about. But what are you going to do with regard to these RAs? How can you help in the implementation of these RAs? That's what I want to see.
Okay, ma'am.
So here's our resources needed when there is an illegal quarry. So first is a DENR personnel, or what we call the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. So they are the one of the speaker in educational awareness that would talk about the protections of environment. So their roles is to protect our environment. The second is local disaster risk and reduction management council. Um, um, and they would talk about the flood preparedness measured on what to do before or during and after the flood. So and also they are turned into local authorities for information about the kanang evacuation and kanang sila mo plano sa evacuation for the safety
Okay, so
needs.
how does this relate to your conservation plan? The preparedness measures.
It's related.
With this,
Sige, Day.
maka-help siya, ma'am. Kay if ever na ay kanang especially kanang magabi ma'am nga magusog ang baka.
Yes.
So ma-prepared sila, ma'am, aware sila, ma'am, nga kato magapuy, especially kato na yung mga anak na
Yes,
mga
okay.
gagmay.
I am already there. But what we're trying to solve here is your conservation plan. I want to see the conservation plan and how you implement this. When you focus, Rata, with regard to LDRRMC person, you can, okay, why not approaching your LGU? That's the very basic step, the very first thing that you have to do. Because you cannot connect directly to DNR and NRO. You have to start from the barangay level. So residents of Magatas, why won't you tap with the barangay officials, the barangay captain and the barangay officials? Then maybe you're going to attend in one of their sessions. You will be presenting the proposal to them. And in such a way, they already have an idea on what you're going to do. And since you are asking help from them, they will be the ones to send letters now to these different agencies like the DNR and NRO so that they can get something like support, so that in turn they can also support your project, your program. What we are going to do here is focus what are your potential solutions, okay? Diba? What has been presented as your potential solutions here? You're just presenting the RAs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, these RAs cannot do anything without you acting, without your active participation. Yeah, I want you to include the RAs because these are the RAs where you can anchor your strategies. But I want your own strategies based on the RAs. Ug unsaon ninyo siya pag-implement? Unsa pud siya nga strategy? Not basically describing on what this RA is all about. Pero mag-i-anchor ninyo dito ba ang inyong own move nga himuon? Diba, last time, as I remember, on quarrying.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is already a problem, long-time problem na ni siya, which has not been solved. So, you, as a student, how will you minimize the impact now of quarrying? I understand why you included here LDRRMC. It's because you're concerned with the flood, which could be an aftermath of quarrying, right? Am I
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Yes. So you have to look for a strategy on how you can help lessen this problem on flood. So reforestation, or you can also have native vegetation, planting native what is this vegetation, just like several species of grasses in which their roots could really anchored.
Yes, ma'am. We have that, ma'am,
Pailalo.
in our kuan, ma'am, pollution like solution, ma'am.
Why in pollution? You can also put it here sa quarrying. Quarrying should not only be centered to RAs. As I've said, your RAs will only serve as basis siya sa imong strategy nga gihimo. Like for instance, you were able to mention about collection of fines. I am about to ask, is that 5,000, 10,000, and 20,000 based on a specific law?
No, ma'am.
You're the ones
Yes,
imposing it?
Yes,
Oh, see, dili siya pwede. Because it has to have an RA, which should be the base of these fines. That's the is actual of ang to an RA. Because for sure, the local officials will not also approve that one. Kay wala man sila basis, makiha man na sila ana if muuyon sila ninyo. Meaning to say, imposition of fines basis ana niya is a certain law. Dili mo maka-impose og inyo hara. Especially that 1,000 na to siya. Nasabta na to?
Yes, ma'am. I think yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Nakita ko na, ma'am, nga ang highest fines nila, third offense is 5,000. Ay, 10,000, I think. Katong nasa sa kuan, ma'am, law. Pero among gipatasan sa among nga kuan situation.
Nawala si ma'am.
Next slide, May. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ganihar mo makadungog nako?
Yes, ma'am.
Takot lang, ma'am.
Asa ko nadunggan ninyo and
Kato lang sa fines, ma'am.
okay. I'm sorry. So regarding the fines, dili pud ta ka-impose ang nag-ato-ato ara because it has to be consulted man pod. And again, as I've said, it has to be based sa certain nga law. Aside from, i-consult mo siya sa body.
Okay, ma'am.
Dayon, look at your enroll. In collaboration of the Bantay Okoy members, who are these Bantay Okoy members?
Among organization, ma'am.
I am now confused, no? I am now confused. It's because the first organization that you're introducing to me is C4FP, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And then, you also have introduced Okoy Protection Society. Then you have your Bantay Okoy.
Kaning Bantay Okoy means, ma'am, kay under siya sa mga organization. So, ito mag-monitor mi, ma'am, means amang tawag ato kay Bantay Okoy, ma'am.
You only have one. Like, para na amoy identity. Malipog man ang mga tao.
Kuan po ni sa with collaboration po ni siya sa mga kuan kanang tigbantay po gani sa kuan ng tanod.
Are you sure that barangay tanods are also monitoring there? So maybe in your organization, you can make use of those people who are mag-set dagay mo og members, dayon, mag-set dagay mo og committees within your organization. So naay mo adto dito magbantay sa ukoy ingon ana siya. But you know what? Ang best thing ra gyud is because okay, I don't know if you will agree with me. If you go on with Bantay Okoy, I think makita jud mong away. Diba?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. So, mangita ka og strategy na dili ka maawayan og mga tawo. So, okay. You will link with the barangay officials, then the town officials, then you will propose your plan para ma-minimize ang quarrying sa Ocoy River. And at the same time, you will also think of a means on how to lessen the impacts of illegal quarrying, which is reforestation. Kay diha, wala dyan mga way ninyo. Because they will understand that you're just trying to save the river and its aquatic inhabitants. Diba? Kuha na to. So,
Yes, ma'am.
you can make use of your RAs and PDs as ang adto lang i-anchor. Not necessarily nga mautoy inyong strategy. Okay, can we proceed to the next? So this is on reforestation.
So for success indicators, ma'am, within 5 years, illegal quarrying in Ocoy River is almost solved, and there are no more people who damage the sand and gravel resources of Ocoy River, and it will go back to its original status.
No, I beg to disagree that it will go back to its original status. Because if you have seen Ocoy River, that's not really the original path of Ocoy. If mangutana jud mo anang history niya og asa gyud na siya gasubay, it has been what is this? Rag diverted na siya. And another thing is maybe you cannot use the word will go back to its original status, but you may say that at the end of 5 years, Ocoy River will slowly or will gradually what is this? Restore its plant and animal species, and it would now be favorable for all aquatic inhabitants. Dili gyud siya mahimo nga maadto siya sa original status niya.
But
Kay if you remember, we have our lesson on freshwater ecosystems. Kabantay mo nga ang virgin nga river system is V-shaped, right? Then, if wala pa siya na-distracted, it is narrow. But is Ocoy River narrow? It's wide na, no? So, dili, imposible na gud siya nga mobalik sa iyang original status. So, kato lang, just remove your go back to its original status. But you may say that at the span of 5 years, after the implementation of, but you have to consider reforestation, ha? Kay, no, para mo align ang inyong success indicators dito. So,
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
gradually, maulian na siya, na siya enough to support the aquatic inhabitants. Can we proceed?
Okay, so for the next environmental issue is dredging. Sa unang Ocoy is dili pa ni same sa present, but because of dredging, nilapad ang Ocoy karon and reroute ang tubig. So dredging is the process of removing
accumulated sediments. So they suck up or gather the unwanted sediment and debris to provide more suitable habitat for fish and other wildlife, and also to prevent from spreading contaminants to sediments and debris from either the bottom or side of the river.
And for the solution is overall it will
Now, supposedly, if this is going to be the main aim of dredging, Rajud, widens and deepens the river, reduces water from future flooding, this is good, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
But there's also disadvantage.
Lamita siya. But what is happening in Ocoy River is not just removing mud and trash. Ang ilahang purpose diya sa dredging is not this one. What have you noticed? Di ba they go on dredging? It's not even just happening in Ocoy River, but in some other freshwater ecosystem here in Negros. They go on dredging because it is also their means of excavating sand and gravel for ilang gibaligya for business.
Yes, ma'am.
Ingon ana ang ilang gibuhat. So, okay.
Kanang para sa hollow blocks, ma'am. Ana.
Now, so that this will come out as a problem, ang dredging, kuan ka, inyong ibutang ini is not the definition which is so ideal nga naa sa libro according to what you have observed ni siya nga ang dredging, so dredging in Ocoy River is made to excavate more sand and gravel for business purposes.
Okay.
Inana siya. Oh, kay ug tan-awon ni nato, this is not a problem. It is even a solution to flooding, right? So dili siya environmental issue. So you have to see to it nga ang mo-appear diri sa iyang description is ni come out nga ang dredging activity happens to be a problem already.
Alright,
Okay.
ma'am.
Sige.
so sa mo ang solution nga na imo ma'am kay naing careful planning and selecting which is kung asa na lapit ang dredge operator and then mag-propose of schedule. And then C4 ang organization kay matabang sa DNR.
Diane, can you please communicate in English?
Sorry, ma'am. So our solution is about summarize about careful planning in which area that the operator will dredge, and then it also includes in solution the proposal of when is the time that they will dredge, like 10 a.m., 3 p.m. only, and then the C4 FP, which is our organization, will also have the DNR to facilitate the operator of dredging in checking the proper requirements and then in orienting the people in Magatas about the pros, cons, and do's and don'ts of dredging. So that's all for our solutions. We come up with the collaboration also with the DNR ma'am.
Okay, so let's proceed with the resources needed for the possible solutions for dredging. So I think same lang po ni sa quarrying, ma'am. And first, let's have here DNR personnel. So the same with what you have mentioned, ma'am. We have to mag ato sa daan sa barangay before we will collaborate with this DNR personnel. So here we have here the DNR personnel. So we will conduct or the DNR will conduct a orientation, and they are one of the speaker in educating the dredge operators that would talk about the positive and negative impacts of dredging, as well as its do's and don'ts. Next, we have the C4FP organization, which is our organization. Um, um, they are the ones who will be assisting and facilitating the DNR if the operators or the companies are following the rules implemented. So our organization will help the DNR during checking if the operators who are doing the dredging are following the rules. So we will facilitate and help them. Next, the third is the dredge operator. So they are the people who are expected to come and will be present in the orientation facilitated by our organization. So they are our participants for our orientation.
So for our success indicators, within the next 5 years, huge floods will almost have little to no effect on the lives of the people living near the river. Since the riverbed is now deeper and wider, water can now flow without having to reach the houses that are nearby. Next.
So now let us have the pollution issue. So based on the research project of Dr. Orashan's team of Silliman University on October 14, 2019, and it was stated there that there is a high level of coliform, which is the bacteria in water, associated with environmental contamination from feces in the river. So with
Is
the
this Ocon River?
yes, ma'am.
What was the title of his article?
Kuan ko siya, ma'am. Sa gi-research naman ako siya, ma'am. Nasa dito sa among kuan, ma'am, sa gi-research siya mo sa Google, ma'am. Nato sa Liman University din na naka-mention ang Apoy River dito, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Then with this, ma'am, the environmental contamination, it can cause diarrhea or vomiting or kanang mga katol-katol, mga itchy skin, then maka-cause pa siya o kanang respiratory problems sa mga people living near in the kuan Ocoy River. And then because of this, many of fish and shellfish, which is the source of food for some residents upstream, ito na dito sa babaw sa Valencia, could no longer be found midstream. Like for example, katong na ay mga piggery sa ibabaw or dito sa Valencia or even sa Sibula, ila-ilabayan ilang mga puga or mga kalang animal waste. So na possibility nga mga matay ang mga isda. So di ma-disturb pod ang ilahang kuan kanang ilahang lipuyan. So dili na sila mudaghan, and then wala na yung mga anod paingon sa downstream pod, ma'am. And then kanang based po sa among na interview na one of the barangay officials sa kanang Ocoy River is kanang sa una daghan jud daw katang nga mga anod gikan sa upstream paingon sa downstream, batungod sa kanang kadaghan nga namuyo sa daghan nang namuyo karon
English.
Yes, ma'am. But because of the kuan, ma'am, kanang because of the high level of kanang daghan high
Because
level
of the increasing population, I think.
yes, ma'am. Tungod ana, ma'am, sa mga human activities, ma'am, is that dili na same sa una ang mga kuan kanang katangan na nga ano that's it
So
ma'am.
what are your potential solutions?
For our solutions, we have wastewater treatment, educational awareness, and tree planting and cleanup activities. Now, for wastewater treatment, figurines that don't use what do we call this septic tanks for their for the fecal matter of their livestock. It is best to make a biological filter wherein the fecal matter or the waste that their livestock are producing are then diverted into that filter before going directly back to the river. Um, this will greatly filter the water instead of just directly leading your waste to the river. That's why we've devised a plan to call this encourage piggeries to make a biological filter. And for educational awareness, this goes on with our seminars that are going to be conducted for the people living near the Ocoy, so that they would be aware of the dangers that pollution will bring to the river. And lastly, tree planting and cleanup activities. Um, this should be done every Saturday, scheduled from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And the plants that are going to be planted there are bamboos, vetiver, and also vetiver grasses. This is associated by the organization member itself and some volunteers, particularly the people there.
So for the resources needed in pollution, we have DENR personnel. They will educate the people about the consequences and effects of increased cases and what it would bring to the river and the society. So for the CF, C4FP is for our community for future people. They are the one who will facilitate the tree planting and clean up activities, as well as facilitator in the orientation about educating awareness. And we have also barangay officials, including park leader. They are the one who will also help in facilitating the activity together with the C4FP organization. And last, we have residents of Magatas. So the C4FP is encouraging the residents to participate in the said activity. And napadetailas also the local government unit. They are the responsible of um, financial association. So next, for the success indicator.
Okay, I'll just cut short your presentation because it's already 2:30. Now, based on the different strategies that you have presented to me, how can you materialize those? Each one of you should answer. How can you materialize those? Hello? Yes, were you able to hear my question?
Pardon, ma'am.
Of the different strategies that you have proposed, how can you materialize those?
For my opinion, we can materialize those different strategies that we have shown and implemented by asking for help in the municipality of Nasimulan as well as the DNR, and for those different personnel that we have included in our proposal, because without their help, ma'am, I don't think so that we can manage to do the proposal that we are making, because as you can see, we are just students, and then we have no power in what do you call this, telling the people in Makakas who are doing the different environmental issues to do, and to make them obey to us in our opinion about the possible risk that will happen if they still doing or continue to do those environmental issues. So I believe that strategy that we are going to do is what do you call this, will have a great impact if the municipality and those personnel are willing to collaborate to us or help us, ma'am.
Ako, ma'am. In my opinion, those mentioned strategies will be materialized. First, we don't have the position. We don't have the position to kanang mo direkta dayon sa mga residents. What we can do for right now is like, so as a student we can help those strategies to happen by like help the residents or us mismo. Let's plant trees or grasses for to help the Okoy, and also ask help first from the barangay captain, since we don't have the position to, or we can't go directly to organizations on higher positions like the DNR. We cannot go directly to them since we're still students, so we have to ask first help from the residents of Ucoy River and the barangay captains. And in that if we try to reach out the captain, then maybe the barangay can help us para para the barangay can help us to easily implement those kanang other strategies. That, yes, that's for me, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you. Now, can we straight to the point, make short ang inyong sentences, ha? We're running out of time. Can I have Gia?
So yeah, for me,
Then Pinky, then Ness, then Liza.
it will be materialized by asking a personnel
Can you please open your cam?
kanang related on the organization, ma'am, and also to give
Finish your bro.
refers.
Open your cam.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Nakuan magug ma'am, napakan ko og lampinig. So kanang it will be materialized by asking the personnel that is related on the organization, and also to forgive to give ma'am representation to have a better solution about this problem. And as a student, ma'am, we have to do to assess the residents in Ocoy River, ma'am.
Please come again. Priya, I cannot hear you so well because I dog.
Yes. Wait, ma'am. Lab.
Okay, while waiting, can you, Pinky?
Naanak ko, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it again?
So, it will be materialized, ma'am, by asking personnel that is related on this organization, and to give ma'am, representation na to have a better solution about this problem. And also as a students, ma'am, all I have to do is to assist and kanang sa residents sa Ocoy River, ma'am.
Ikay masabtan imuhang Anyway, di ko kayo kasabot, Priya. Sige, let's have Kafino.
Yes, ma'am. So with the help of our proposal, ma'am, so this study was to kuan ma'am kanang to develop a disciplinary tool sa mga kuan dito sa mga query, or this will help us kanang or sa mga tao, or this will help us to discipline o kanang to understood kanang vulnerability and kanang resilience to the behavior of the people, and to solve the problem with ma'am sa Ocoy River.
Resilient. What are those things again?
Kanang to understand vulnerability ma'am ba? Vulnerability ma'am o kanang resilience.
So is that your strategy on how you're going to materialize your plans?
Yes ma'am, kanang to discipline pod anang mga tao dito ma'am. Kanang ilang mga behavior. Yes ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
All right. So my take on this, in order for these plans to be materialized, I think it should start from myself. I will commit that I will not do these things and I will be disciplined. And then after that, I would refer to the most accessible media that anyone can go. We've got social media, such as Facebook, the internet. We're going to capitalize on that and spread the news, get a wider range of people that we can reach out. And in this way, these solutions can be materialized then.
Thank you, Ness.
Okay, so in addition from what they have said, the only thing we can do, or the thing that we can do as a researcher or as a student, and as the and from the proposal that we recommend, is that first we will tap the organization such as the barangay officials as well as the LGU, and ask for their assistance for their recommendations and how we can improve on, and for how we can strengthen our solutions to be it more effective to the issues that the Ocoy River residents encountered, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Lisa. All right. Thanks for those suggestions and answers for the implementation and its sustainability. So Ness has a very good idea. Social media will do, right? Especially during this pandemic. Yes, you can have infomercials. In such way, you can raise the level of awareness of the inhabitants, specifically in Magatas, not only in Magatas, because Ocoy River has a wider coverage. So thank you so much. You did good in your final presentation, but please incorporate again my suggestions. What are the things to be deleted and what are the things to be added? Okay? That is for your final output. So thank you, everyone. I suppose to ask more questions, but we're limited sa time. Okay? So it's already 2:30. So thank you so much. Bye
Thank
for
you so
now.
much ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you so much.